Hello everybody, my name is Maher Muhammad, and some of you may be wondering what I did during my break from January to March. Well, obviously I was having a nice needed break, without devoting any of my time to some huge giant project. I might have spiraled a bit. For those who don't know, The Magic School Bus is an animated educational television series that aired on cable television between 1994 to 1997, with it living on through reruns via syndication across various television channels today. Channels include PBS, Fox Kids, Discovery Family, A Sick Joke, and Cubo. The show is about a bunch of 4th graders learning about various science topics taught by their teacher, Ms. Frizzle, with the help of their school bus, which can do really anything that the plot demands of it for that episode. Need the kids to learn about the solar system? Well, the bus can be a spaceship. Need the kids to learn about physics? Shrink them down to the molecular level to see the atoms. Need the kids to learn about disease? Take them inside a human child. Why not? But you already know that. Most likely because of the banger theme song that plays at the beginning of every episode. You know the one.
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you're seeing octopus in the neighborhood.
And while the song is good, like, really good, the singer part is hot and soul into it for some reason, you can hear something if you listen closely to the song. I don't know if you can understand it. It's very subtle. I don't know if people would actually hear it or not. It's called the lyrics. The lyrics describe different adventures that the kids can and will go on throughout the show. Surfing on a sound wave, swinging through the stars, take a left of your intestine, take your second right past March, hop on the Magic School Bus. And well, yeah, they did do that, like 85 times. Have you ever stopped to think about all the other lyrics they did? Was the Magic School Bus truthful about that? What do you mean you never thought about that? What do you mean you have a social life? But it's no big deal, it's just a theme song made to show off core ideas of the show to new viewers tuning in for the first time. I shouldn't be losing sleep over if the kids were actually baked into a pie or not. I shouldn't. So, in order to answer this meaningless question, I commit to watching all 4 seasons of The Magic School Bus, as well as the 2017 reboot created for Netflix, The Magic School Bus Rides Again, and I created a spreadsheet to record my data. If you want to see the spreadsheet, it'll be in the description. Every column on the top has a lyric from the show. There are 9 lyrics. Then the side has episode names. Each season had 13 episodes. If I see that an event that was stated in the lyric happened in the episode, I will record it with a yes. If I see nothing related to the lyric, I record it with a no. If I see something that was super close to it but ends up not doing it, or was just slightly different, I will record an almost. Sounds relatively pretty simple. So, with all the setup out of the way, let's get on to... Right away, let me just say that Season 1 has the most data out of the 4 seasons. Mostly because I can only assume that the theme song was written after most of Season 1 was already made, so they pulled plot ideas out of Season 1 episodes and used it to fill lyrics. So here's what I found. Gets lost in space covers the lyrics swinging through the stars and take your second right past Mars. My reasoning is that they are literally in space for most of the episodes, which will cover swinging through the stars. So we're gonna mark that one with a yes. Now the second one is weird, because they technically do not take a second right past Mars. But I don't think we should take these lyrics 100% seriously. So when they say, take your second right past Mars, I think they mean fly past Mars and have us see it. So that's why I put a yes. For lunch, as the kids go inside Arnold's intestines when looking at how the human body digests food, so I mark a yes to take a left of your intestine. We literally see it in the episode. Inside Ralphie, I put a yes for navigate a nostril, since they went through his nostril to check what's making Ralphie sick. Gets Ian, I had to give the episode an almost for Spank a Plankton too, because while they do see a plankton, they never hit nor touch it, so we are very close, but the kids decided to be pacifists, aka the lame option. Skipping ahead 3 episodes because they're filled with a bunch of no's, in the haunted house I put an almost for surfing on a sound wave, because while they do talk about sound waves a lot in the episode, they never shrink to the point of being able to touch them, let alone stand on one of them, so we had to put an almost. And finally, in one of the most disappointing things I have ever seen in my life, in Gets Ready Set Dough, I had to put an almost for you might get baked inside a pie, since they do get baked inside of food. But it's a cake. And that was Season 1. A bit disappointing how many episodes have no's in them, though at the same time, there is a good amount of yeses and almostes. Something that we're gonna see pretty soon, doesn't carry over. So, we finished Season 1, now let's move on to... Season 2 is a shorter list, mostly because they're moving on to different topics, and such simple activities that they listed in the theme song are less likely to appear. And below this top, I'm just mad about this one. So in the episode, we see an underwater sea critter. One of the kids even goes, Octopus! Then Miss Frizzle goes,
It's a squid, not an octopus.
We were so close to getting an octopus in the neighborhood, but we had to settle for a squid, so almost. Though we do get a yes for Raft a River of Lava, so that's a plus. Out of This World gets a yes for Swinging to the Stars, because they do go back to space in the episode, but I put an almost for Taker's second right past Mars, since while they do go pretty far to the point where they most likely went past Mars, we never see Mars on screen, so I'm putting it as an almost. And that's all of Season 2. Like I said, pretty short, but not as short as Season 3.
Alligator nostril. Climb on the magic school bus. Make a plankton too.
The most disappointing season. Only one episode gives us data other than a no. Works out, we got a yes for Navigate a Nostril. Why are you still here? Move on to the next season.
On our magic school bus. Up the river of lava. On the magic school bus.
In Goldstealer, we get a yes for Take a Left at Your Intestine. Gee, I wonder why. See Stars is a space episode, so you know what that means. Yes to Swing Into the Stars, and an almost for Take a second right past Mars, since I guess the show really hates Mars now. They definitely went past it, but they never show it. These results also apply for the next episode, Gains Rate, like the exact same order I just listed it in. Makes a Sink, we got a yes for Navigate a Nostril, and finally, Takes a Dive. Finally. And that was the original series. As you can see from my data, the theme song was accurate 66% of the time. Out of the 9 lyrics, only 6 of them were correct. Though the other 3 that didn't get yes still got an almost, so I guess you could say that the show was indeed truthful. But we aren't done here, it's time for the Magic School Bus to ride again.
Your bones right to the seat. Come on in and don't be shy.
This show takes place 1 year after the original show continuity-wise, and oh god, the animation sucks. Ignoring the pretty bad rigged animation and the blatant whitewashing of the kids, what did they do to Wanda? The show's fine. Personally, I think it's fine as long as they aren't teaching anything bad or wrong. Like, the show, I think, in my opinion, is still on par with the original. Though at the same time, you do kind of have to disconnect it from the original to really properly enjoy it. Which is kind of hard when they're constantly referencing the quirks of the original show.
You're not Miss Frizzle?
Oh, but I am, Arnold. And may I just say, I'm so glad you didn't stay home today. Hey, Tim, love your artwork. Wanda, how was your summer at the animal rescue? Keisha, oh, love the outfit. Carlos, I want to say hi to you too. And DA, according to your research, you must realize
It's a whole different Frizzle!
Though my bias doesn't matter because we're only here for research. And thankfully, because the show is a reboot, we get way more data since they love to do their callbacks. Frizzle of the Future has a yes for Swing Into the Stars, and almost for Take Her Second Right Past Mars, since like the original show, this show does not like to show Mars for some reason, and an almost for You Might Get Baked Inside a Pie. I put an almost since Arnold name dropped it.
Sure, till they get eaten or baked into a pie.
Though, as we established, this doesn't make any sense, since they were never baked inside a pie, they were baked inside a cake.
Boy, I really hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
The Battle for Rock Mountain has an almost for Raft a River of Lava, so while the kids were inside lava, they were inside the bus, not on top of it, and they were not using the bus like a raft. Carlos Gets the Sneezes has an almost for Take Your Left at Your Intestines, because while they do go inside his body, they never go inside his intestines. Though they do go inside his nostril, which allows us to put a yes for Navigate a Nostril. Also, man, I have never wanted to be blind more in my entire life. Thanks for animating realistic snot instead of giving the characters good facial expressions. I really enjoyed that. Hides and Seeks gets a yes for An Octopus in the Neighborhood. Thanks Reds again for getting to that faster than the original series. Took 4 seasons for them to do anything with an octopus. Here, Reds again gets straight to the point in its first season. Thanks Reds again, like the one pro you have against the original series. Space Mission Selfie, yes, that is the name of the episode, remember the show came out in 2017, has a yes for Swing Into the Stars and an almost for Take Your Second Right Past Mars. I bet you can guess why. The Tale Glacier Tells gives us an almost for An Octopus in the Neighborhood, since they show a hologram of an octopus, but that's not real, and it's not in the ocean, so I don't count it. And finally, Ralphie Strikes a Nerve has 2 almost. One for Take a Left at Your Intestines, and another for Navigate a Nostril. They went inside his body, but didn't go anywhere near those places. We were so close. And oh wow, that's a lot. Probably more than the original show, to be honest. Well, not in all together, but I'm saying per season. Let's see if season 2 continues this.
Just to make your day complete, you might get baked into a pie on the magic school bus.
They don't. Only 3 episodes of any result. If this was the original series, it'd be more understandable, but here after what season 1 free-for-all started, this is just disappointing. Ready Set Fail has a yes for Swing Into the Stars and an almost for Raft a River of Lava. Waste Not Want Not has an almost for Take a Left at Your Intestines. We see it in a little presentation for... I'm not telling you. I had to suffer through that episode, I'm gonna spare your life by not telling you it. And finally, Making Magic has a yes for Swing Into the Stars. Like I said, pretty disappointing. Despite the season giving us a lot more callbacks to previous episodes, we only got 3 yeses out of 9 for the lyrics, giving us an accuracy of 33% or 3 out of 9. Ouch. However, when factoring in the almostes, that gave us 4 more, which gives us 7 out of 9. However, unlike the original series, Surfing on a Soundwave and Spank-A-Plankton 2 were always a no, not even almost. So you could say that the reboot wasn't as faithful to the lyrics as the original show was. But we're not done here. We also have 3 specials to look at.
Step inside, it's a wild ride. Come on.
In 2020, we got 3 44-minute specials for the Magic School Bus rides again. These switched up the art style and were dedicated to the author of the books, who passed away that year, Joanna. These specials are Kids in Space, The Frizz Connection, and In the Zone. So let's check out these ones as well. Starting with Kids in Space, I mean, it's pretty obvious where this is gonna be. Swing into the Stars, definitely. Even the ending proves it, with Ralphie and Wanda being stranded in space and having to swing through it? I'll see myself out. And in a twist, we got an almost for Surfing on a Soundwave, because we visually see a sound wave. But just like the original show, we never ride in it or do anything with it. So, almost. The Frizz Connection is the best out of the 3 shorts, but I'm not here to summarize plots. Anywho, there's nothing for my data other than no. Ditto with In the Zone, though the bus does die for a brief period of time.
From now on, the Magic School Bus will just be a school bus.
And that was all 3 specials. Or was it? There's a rumored 4th special that never came out on Netflix, it was instead dumped on a DVD. Goldstealer. Nobody has ever seen this special anywhere, and if anyone has, then they clearly never bothered to upload it online. There is no information regarding this episode. All we know is the name and a singular screenshot from it, which was taken from the credits from the other 3 specials. And the weirder thing about this is that it's only exclusive to a DVD in Canada. But we don't even know if the episode actually exists or not. Like I said, nobody has any information regarding the actual content of it. We don't even know the plot summary. So, I guess that's that. I mean, I'm not gonna import a DVD just so my research can be 100% accurate. I make good financial decisions. Yes, what you're seeing is my first ever Canadian import. If you keep up with the community tab, you would know that this coming to my house was quite painful. My experience with USPS could probably take up an entire episode on its own, but for now I'm gonna keep it brief. I ordered the DVD back in February, it took until April for the DVD to arrive in the facility in Canada that would then send it to me, and that took until June for it to finally arrive. There was a point where the DVD left Los Angeles, got near my house, and then it went back to Los Angeles. Not even the USPS Postal Service people could answer me why it went backwards. It was at that point where I'd fear that I'd wasted $40 and that nothing was coming to my house. But it seemed like Terrence and Philip decided to stop messing with me, and I finally got my package. This DVD contains all 4 of the specials. I find it interesting that the DVD refers to the specials as Season 2, when this is certainly not Season 2. The Season 1 DVD that also exists that I didn't import groups Season 1 and Season 2 together and refers to it as Season 1. I just felt like mentioning that because I find that neat. Plus, YouTube does the exact same thing. I don't know why they do that. It's actually really interesting. I want to know why. Man, wouldn't it be funny if Goldstealer didn't actually exist and I paid $40 for nothing? Oh, thank God. Considering this episode is technically considered lost media, I'm gonna summarize the plot this time. I waited 4 months, let me have this. So the plot is relatively pretty simple. Keisha's mom is framed for stealing a gold award, so the class works together to find out who the real Goldstealer is. Oh, the name makes sense now. The main theme of the episode is friction. They ride on bikes and skateboards and do races to show it off. It explains the concept really well as usual for the show. No matter what version of the show you're watching, they'll always explain these concepts in an easy to understand way. That's one thing about the show that I will never knock. And they end up finding out who framed Keisha's mom, but I'm not gonna spoil it. Now, why would I not spoil this episode considering it's literally lost media and can't be viewed by anyone? Well, I didn't spend $40 and wait 4 months just to keep this lost episode to myself. I have dumped the episode from the DVD to my laptop and I've archived it to archive.org. If anyone cares to watch it, the link is in the description as well. I am a huge fan of lost media, so to be able to say that I uncovered a piece of lost media and made it found media, that is just really cool. The Magic School Bus fandom page can shed a sigh of relief. I don't even know why it never released on Netflix. It's a solid special. I argue it's the second best out of the 3, though the Frizz Connection was really good. I like to believe they just forgot or something. Speaking of forgetting, I almost forgot to see if the episode was truthful to the theme song. It isn't. Wasted money! So, when looking at all 4 specials, we only got 1 yes out of 9 lyrics. That's a 10% accuracy. Though when we factor in the extra almost we got, that's a 20% accuracy. That's still not good though. But overall, was the Magic School Bus truthful? I'd say yeah. The original series covered 6 out of 9 lyrics, all 9 if we factor in the 2 that got an almost. That's pretty truthful if you ask me. Rise Again is a bit more of a letdown, only 3 hard yeses, and when factoring in the almost, that's a 7 out of 9 or 70% accuracy. And I already discussed the 4 specials. Despite the show losing a bit of steam in the accuracy department as it went on, I still feel like it was pretty accurate, and overall, I'm glad that I did this. It gave me an excuse to watch the Magic School Bus, and overall, the show is way better than I remember it. While I'm not gonna lie and call it the best show ever made, I watched the show on 2 times speed for God's sake and I was bored most of the time. That's mostly because the show is just not for me. It's an educational show for elementary school children. It's not meant to really be consumed, especially not binged. But overall, I say the show is really good for children, and I think it is way better than most of the garbage I'm seeing on Disney Jr. and Nick Jr. nowadays. This also allowed me to properly watch the reboot, and I say it's a worthy successor and doesn't ruin the original show. I don't keep track with the hardcore Magic School Bus fanbase these days, but I do remember seeing people hating on the reboot when it was first announced. And animation aside, I still think it's really good and you should give it a shot. Plus, I got to uncover a piece of lost media that's to be worth something. Overall, the Magic School Bus was truthful. Truthful with an asterisk, but still truthful. Thanks Joanna for making this franchise, rest in peace. At least I'm finally done. As you can see, the Magic School Bus was really a book series. I think it was only logical I read all 124 books to see if that was accurate as well!